Okay, so now let's talk about the first method, that is how to extend your Wi-Fi network in AP mode, that means the access point mode, or maybe in switch mode. These are literally the same. So the access point mode is when we are using the wireless network as an access point, or the Wi-Fi as an access point. And for the switch mode, will not be using the Wi-Fi, we'll just be using the LAN ports, that's all. So let's deep dive into this AP mode. So first we'll be connecting the primary router and secondary router through the LAN cable, as we already know. But keep in mind, those two endpoints should be in LAN sections. Any of that endpoint should not be in one sections. That means if you're connecting through a LAN cable, one endpoint of the LAN cable will be connecting to primary router's LAN port, and the other end of the LAN cable should be on secondary router's LAN port, not in one port. That is a major mistakes most of we do. Okay, now keep in mind, there are three modes that you can use in this AP modes. First mode is like when the primary router SSID and password for the Wi-Fi is different from the secondary router Wi-Fi SSID and password. That means we'll be creating two different Wi-Fi networks, but they will be connecting into they'll be in the same network. Okay, so we can also create different network, but as we are extending the networks, I will not be going through that sections. But in from IP based thing, the IP will be in same subnet, but there will be two different Wi-Fi. So we maybe use two different SSID and password for that Wi-Fi. The second option is we can use the same SSID and password for the two routers. So that means the primary router and secondary router SSID and passwords are same, but they will be running on different channels. That means the Wi-Fi channels will be on different. So for 2.4 gigahertz, we can run one router, maybe the primary router in channel 1 and the secondary router in channel 11. Okay, so why there is a difference 1 and 11? We can make it 2, right? 2 also. So 2 might create some conflicts. So when you are just giving any channel size, keep in mind you are at least giving space of 5. So if you have one more router, how the channels will be: the first router can be in 1, the second router can be in 6, so 1 plus 5 is equal to 6, and the third router can be in 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. That is the best setup. Now at least 5 channels apart is the great options, otherwise most probably they will conflict. Okay, so that is one test case scenario. The third test case scenario is when you will be using same SSID and password for both of the routers, but here we will be using same channel also. That means the channels also will be same. So for test case scenarios, we will be taking one. Okay, so the main issue is here that the bandwidth will be taken to half, because both APs will be talking to the clients, so talking to the same clients. So the bandwidth we have will be cutting down to half. That is the major problem here. But what is the main pros here? Because if you are roaming from this Wi-Fi to that Wi-Fi, your mobile will not be like your client mobile will not be changing anything, because all are same. Okay, so previously if we have different channels, the it will be automatically connected, but the channels will be just changed, right? And for the first test case scenario, the Wi-Fi networks are different, right? And we can keep it in channel auto mode. That does not depends, or you can give it to manual channel too, according to your situations. So let's head over to the section how we can configure this AP. I'll be just showing you one channel, like one SSID and password, and I will show you how you can change the channel too. You can just customize accordingly between these three scenarios. Okay, so let's talk about how you can configure those. For this, you just need one subnet. So for me, the subnet is 196.168.0.1/24. If you see the subnet mask, you can understand those. Okay, now we have DHCP server inside the subnet, that is considering from 100 to 100, 199. So within this range, the DHCP server will allocate the IP address to my host. This is the LAN we will be actually working on. Now for the secondary router, if you are using, the router must be outside, the router IPs must be staying outside this DSCP region. So keep in mind this DSCP region, from which range to which range it is being used. We'll talk about it later how you can configure those. Okay, so at first you need to reset your router. That depends according to your router models though. You can just Google and get that router, like how to reset those router. For me, I already connected to the primary router through my Wi-Fi, and my secondary router is DD-WRT, which I connected through my LAN to configure. And after you done reset, you just go to this IP 192.168.1.1, and we have to just configure our username and passwords. It will just take a little bit of time, and then we'll just use the change password, and we'll be entering into the DD-WRT management interface. Now the first thing that we need to do is go to setup, and it will ask you for the new ID password that you will be creating, so at the time of opening. So keep that in mind. You will be needing this each and every time when you open the interface. Okay, so the first option that we need to do is to disable this one type, because we don't want any one interface, right? And there is a router name, you can give it to another name too for the host name. This is optional. And this thing, the local IP address in which you will be accessing this interface, should be outside this DSCP region. So for me, this router IP is 192.160.0.1, right? So I'll keep this router with in same subnet, keep in the same subnet, but not in the DSCP range. So if I provide 0.2, it's into the same subnet but not into the DSCP range of 100 to 199. Now the gateway will be the primary router, so that is 0.1, and same the local DNS2. If you don't have any DNS servers, if you have manual DNS servers, then you can provide the DNS server IP here, but gateway will be your primary router. Now this is optional to assign one port to switch. It depends according to your router models though. So what it does, it converts your one port as a LAN port, because we are not using one, right? We disable the one. So that's the thing. And the DHCP server will be disabled, because we don't want DHCP in this secondary router, because all the DHCP will be handled into a first router, correct? So that is the case. And what we can do here, we also have to uncheck the use DNS mask for DNS. Okay, and that's all in this section. So we'll just use the save. For me, I'll just change the region to, it depends according to your region. So mine is Asia, and this is Kolkata. Okay, that's great, that looks great for me as I am in India. So this will be my section, and I'll just use the save. I'll just double check if each and everything is going fine. Okay, and also keep in mind, don't use the DHCP forwarder. Okay, here if you are in different subnet, then you need those. For now you don't need. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll just go to advanced routing, and we'll change it to gateway, from gateway to the router, and we'll use save. Don't apply any settings currently. Save all the settings first and configure your router first, then we'll just apply those settings at later. Okay, so that is the second option. The third option is we will just go to the wireless, and currently you can see the mode is AP. There are multiple modes as we already discussed. We'll be using AP definitely, and the SSID will be if you want to, now here comes the all the three modes that are in AP. If you want to use different SSID, you can use the like blue DD-WRT, correct. But if you want to keep the same SSID, just go to your previous router, okay, copy the SSID, paste it here, and just save it, and then go to wireless security. The interface may change according to your router, and we'll use WPA, then WPA to personal, because the same thing we have to use here also, that is WPA to PSK, right? So we'll be using the same thing, and choose AES because the encryption also will be using AES. Okay, now save, and the shared key also that will be same. So I'll just copy this one and I'll paste here. Cool. And everything looks great for now. And yes, this is the thing. I will just use save. Okay, so what we have done here, if we use different SSID, that means we will be using the first options that in different Wi-Fi, but all the IPs will be in same subnet, but we'll be using two different Wi-Fi. Now if we use this thing, and we have to use the channel also, so for us the secondary router channel will be in 11, correct. So and the primary router will be in channel first. So now we'll save this thing. Okay, so this configuration and this configuration looks great for the second options. That means we'll be using same SSID but in different channel. Now if you want to keep in same channel, that also you can do by specifying here the both channel will be same with same SSID and password, but the problem here is the speed will be cut down to half. Okay, I want to be in different channels, so that's for my use case. So I'll be using save. Cool. Now that is the half of the things are done. Then we'll go to services. What is the services here? And then we'll disable the DNS mask, definitely. And then at the end of the thing, there is one thing, this option, I don't know how what is called, this daemon option. We'll just disable this thing too, and we'll just save the options. Okay, so and then we'll go to the security, and then firewall. We'll disable the firewall because it will be in the internet and we don't need firewall. Our actual router is here and it will be used for all the firewall cases. Now as we already disabled it, we have to check one thing, that is the multicast, this thing. So this thing we have to enable, and that's all. We can just save this page, and then we go to administration, and if you want site password protection, that means when you go to DD-WRT, you'll get this status page at the first, and this is like you don't need to be authenticated to use this page, but if you want to set up anything, you need to be authenticated first. So in admin section you can disable that too. That means you cannot see the status sections without authentication. You need authentication for this too. Okay, so that's all. Now what we can do, we can just apply the settings and just wait for it to come over. Okay, so that's all. Just give me a second and we'll just apply the settings. Okay, now we'll just do apply. Let's wait for a little bit, and as you can see, if you go to another tab, this will be loading. That means this IP is not working, correct? So what was our LAN IP for this router? That was 0.2. So we'll access this page and see, let's see if it works or not. It will just reboot once, so just give it some time, and this will be open after the reboot. Okay, so after you apply the settings, you need to remove your LAN cable from your PC to connect it to the primary router, because the primary router and the secondary router needs to be connected. Then only you will be connected to the network, correct? So after you apply the settings, just remove the LAN from your computer and attach it to the primary router. So now we'll go to the page, but the IP will be now 0.2 as we just mentioned in the LAN IP previously while setting up the router, and just enter and the page will be opening. So now you can see there is one. Okay, we have to again log in. Okay, and we can see here the SSID is like this, right? And from my primary router also this was the same SSID. So we'll be watching just one SSID with this name. Okay, see, there are two Wi-Fi's, but we can see only one SSID, right? Two routers with the same name, two wireless access points with the same name, but the channels are different. So if I connect to this Wi-Fi, it will be connect to the nearest router. So if I roam from here to that router, means the secondary router, where the secondary router is more has more connections, or the connections are more steady there, or the strength of the connection is more into the secondary router, it will automatically change and it will connect to the secondary router. But we cannot understand this thing because the Wi-Fi will be automatically connecting to the secondary router, and the SSID passwords, everything is same, right? The channel will be different. For me, the channel will be different because I set it up accordingly. But there are some legacy devices like those like ESP node MCUs, or some small chips, or some clients are there which cannot directly change from this Wi-Fi router to that Wi-Fi router according to the signal strength. In this scenario, we can use the same channel of these two routers, so that the legacy devices like the ESPs or node MCUs can directly talk to the router, correct? Because they cannot change according to the signal strength too much easily. Okay, so that's the use case of the same channel. Otherwise, if you don't have any legacy device in your network, you can just use different channels to connect those. Okay, and if you want a whole different wireless network, then you can use the different SSIDs, correct? You don't need to use the same SSID. So that is the three scenarios, in which scenarios accordingly if it works, you can set up those scenarios. I just briefly told you about all those scenarios. Okay, so if you want different SSID, you can do. If you want same SSID with different channels, that also you can do, that I am using right now. And if you want same SSID but channels will be also same, you can do that too, but that does not actually need if you don't have any legacy hardwares into your network. So that's all. We'll see the next channel mode, that is the repeater mode, in the next video.